All they wanted was a fun weekend getaway in a cabin in the woods, and what they got was a one-way ticket to hell. What's up, collectors? Welcome back to the Toy Box of Terror. I'm your host, Dr. Creepy, and today we aren't just looking at action figures, we're looking at horror history. For years, collectors have had shelves full of Evil Dead 2 Ash, Army of Darkness Ash. We know the chin, we know the boomstick and the swagger, we know the chainsaw. And now we're going to go back to where it all started, 1981. This is the NECA Evil Dead 2-pack featuring a young, terrifyingly naive Ash Williams and his sister Cheryl. Now, to appreciate this set, you have to remember the history here. Before Ash Williams was a swaggering action hero, he was just a kid in a blue button-down shirt, just trying to survive the night with his sister Cheryl. Cheryl is arguably the most important Deadite in the franchise. She was the first to turn, the one locked in the cellar, and the one who delivered the lines that still haunt our nightmares today. Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, and his crew went through absolute torture to make that movie on a shoestring budget in a freezing cabin in Tennessee. Here, NECA pays tribute to that legacy with what might be the definitive version of the ultimate experience in grueling terror. We've got the Necronomicon, we've got the axe, and yes, we even have that pencil. So let's board up the window, chain up the cellar door, crack this package open, and see if these figures are groovy, or if they'll swallow our souls. Let's go. Alright, and right out of the box, we can tell we're in for a wild ride. So far, we have 5 head sculpts, including the 2 that are on the figures: an axe, a chainsaw, a grave marker, a notebook, a fire poker, and a shovel. And the one thing I will say about this NECA packaging is that it looks really good displaying it on a shelf in the box if that's what you want to do. But if you want to get the figures out, sometimes it is a bit of a process. Case in point, right here. And here they are in all their gory glory, old Cheryl and Ash Williams, brother and sister, standing side by side stoically against the world. Now, I thought that for a spectacular set of figures, I'd need a spectacular place to show them off, so I thought I would do a little diorama. I started this diorama well before I got the 2-pack, and I actually used my NECA Ultimate Ash figure for scale. I used a lot of elements from different figures to round this out, round all the details out. You'll see on the table I've got a McFarlane Texas Chainsaw Massacre hammer, and I'm not sure where that book came from. That deer head, I actually did a lot of sculpting myself, which I'm pretty surprised because I'm not great. I'm not surprised at the way this clock turned out. Not my favorite part, but hey, it works. I did all the texturing. I did all the individual board slats in the wall. I know I should probably paint that hot glue black, but I didn't. And I thought it looked pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. Here we're going to stack up these guys, run about 7 inches, maybe just a little under. Here I've got them stacked up against a Mezco Attack of the Living Dead Jake figure. Released around 2006, I can't think of a better stand-in for Deadites. In fact, the entire lineup could stand in for Deadites if you can dig them up. And if I can pull my fractured mind together long enough, maybe I can do a video on this long-lost line. Let's move on to the accessories. First, we've got Ash's axe. Say that 10 times fast. It's an axe. It looks good. It's bloody. It's serviceable. Very nice. NECA does really good with weapons like this. Next up, we've got Cheryl's notebook with her little sketch of the grandfather clock on the wall. You know, the one I showed you earlier in my diorama that looks nothing like a grandfather clock. Anyway, looks really good. Looks like an actual pencil sketch. I'm not 100% sure if it's from the source material, but it looks really good. I actually kind of wish I would have watched The Evil Dead before I did this review, but I did not. But taking it apart, it's a nice little touch under here. Here is the sketch Cheryl does of the Necronomicon. Very, very nice touch. I wish it was a little easier to access, but it is what it is. It looks great. And next up, you can hear me rummaging around for it, is the chainsaw. pretty much the star of the show. Forget all the actors and actresses. This is the star of the show. Really looks good. Got a lot of detail to it. Bloody. And if you tip it, it says NECA right on the top there. Very nice. Fine detail work. I love the amount of gore on this thing. But then again, I did love the amount of gore in the movie. When I was a kid at the time, what can I say? It made me giddy. The next accessory we've got is the shovel. This is the one that Ash used to decapitate his possessed girlfriend, Linda. I'm sorry. Hate to break the mood, but that's what he did. He also used it to bury her body. Anyway, it looks good. Looks like a shovel. It's got blood on it. Nice paint applications. Looks great. Once again, great stuff by NECA. And here is the fire poker, used by Cheryl in the film to attack Ash. And next up in the accessories, we have the grave marker that Ash used to mark Linda's grave after he decapitated her. Sorry, that is funny. Sorry. That's actually not funny, but just remembering the movie. These movies were absolutely bonkers if you don't remember them. And if you haven't seen them, go back and watch. Here we've got two hands for Ash, really well detailed and very well bloody. This one's for holding the chainsaw, and the other one is a gripping hand. This is a gripping Cheryl hand, along with a, I don't know what to call these. I call these dramatic posed hands, but this is Cheryl's dramatic posed hands. And here's another Cheryl dramatic posed hand. And here we go. This is the pencil that Cheryl used to stab Ash's girlfriend Linda in a particularly gory scene. Now here we've got what I like to call the side eye Ash. He looks great. The hair looks great. The face looks great. It captures that frightened Ash very well. The side eyes look great, and that chin looks fantastic, which, let's be honest, probably had to meet Bruce Campbell's approval before it went into production. Now this is what I call the Stage 2 Cheryl head. It's the Stage 2 possession or decay, whatever you want to call it. Looks really good. The hair looks great. Everything looked great. NECA knocks it out of the park with these guys, you cannot deny, but it looks fantastic. Harkens back to the original movie. Great job. This is what I would call Stage 3 Cheryl. A lot more decay, a lot more damage. You know, you watch the movie, if you know, you know. Looks great. And that brings us to the Cheryl figure herself. Looks fantastic. The sculpt is great from head to toe. I've got no complaints about this at all. The Stage 1 head looks fantastic. This is the earliest incarnation of the Cheryl Deadite. And I like the way they've got the hair motion kind of in there. I don't know a better way to phrase it, but it looks really good. It looks like it's moving. The color applications are great. Very true to the source material. The arms bend at the elbows like they should. The hands spin at 360, and the arms will rotate 360. There is a little wiggle back and forth at the shoulder. The head moves back and forth, up and down for great poses. The legs spread completely, although I don't know why you'd need to. Full function, full movement of the knees and feet. Now, moving on to Ash. Look at Ash. He looks fantastic spinning around there for us. Looks great from head to toe, especially wearing that fabulous blue button-up shirt. And if you've read any of the behind the scenes or seen any documentaries, you'll know that Bruce Campbell said that shirt that he wore was soaked in K-Rose syrup that they used for blood and could stand on its own at the end of every shooting day. Unfortunately, they didn't have a replacement, so it was the same shirt every day. As far as articulation goes, this thing is fully articulated. The arms will rotate in a full 360 as expected. The elbows will bend at the elbows and the hands will spin all the way around. What a fantastic looking figure. I can't get over how much this looks like Bruce Campbell. So true to the source material. It's insane. Although I do have suspicions that a lot of this sculpt is from the earlier release of Ash. But everything looks good. This thing's able to get in some great dynamic poses, and he can give you that big thumbs up to tell you no matter how dark the night is, everything's going to be alright. So once again, boils and ghouls, this is your old pal, Dr. Creepy, and boy do I mean old. Look at them holding hands, very sweet. Great set of figures if you can get your hands on them, which that's a good thing about NECA is no matter how long it's been, you can probably find these guys and relatively cheap. Here's another look at the accessories. Thanks guys for sticking with me. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the diorama. And hopefully you enjoyed my nonsensical ramblings. Thanks guys. We'll see you next time.